Well, again, it's Australia's day, but it's been a very hard-fought day. It really has. There's been some terrific cricket again today. I mean, it really is a proper final. This is played with all of that intensity. So 123 for 4. Green is on 7 not out. And Labuschagne, a hard-fought 41. He had a difficult time to start with. And the lead... And
296.
296. Okay, so not enough yet for Australia to feel absolutely comfortable, but you feel that they're likely to be destined to get there. The ball is 44 overs old, so it is obviously softer than when it was new and hard and was rearing from a length. There were some horrible balls bowled. Bruises being picked up. But let's join Henry Moran, because already he's at Marnus Labuschagne.
Who was pulling off his gloves, putting his bat down, and Marnus, that was a hard-fought day. What are your thoughts at the end of all that?
Yeah, I think we fought well. Obviously, there's plenty in the wicket. Our bowlers bashed the wicket hard and we got plenty out of it and got ourselves in a good position. Made a meal of it a little bit in that morning session. But I thought, exceptional. We spoke about it. We acknowledged we were poor and we came out of the break and finished it off really well. And then batters got stuck in. It's just about grinding out. I don't think it's going to be one of those pretty innings, I think.
So what were those conversations at lunch?
Not much needed to be said. Pat just addressed the team and just said, look, that wasn't good enough from us. And we all acknowledge it. I think we've played enough cricket to know that was a really poor session and we can't let that happen very often. So acknowledged it. Bowlers got straight back onto that length and from there it was, we got ourselves back in the fixture.
Lead's nearly 300 now. Have you thought about in your mind what might be enough to start thinking about, right, we're comfortable here, now let's win the game?
It's hard. Like with that new hard ball, there's plenty happening, especially up and down, which is always the challenging one. I mean, sideways movement is tough, but when it's sideways, up and down consistently, it does create a few more worries. But what we've got now is a formidable score, but once again, you never know. The likes of Shubman and Virat and Rohit, if one of those guys get in, and Pujara, they can be tough to dismiss. I think we've shown that at a point in time. So we just got to keep trying to keep crawling with that lead, keep taking them. Opportunities come to score, take them, and then, go from there.
How are your hands? Because they've taken a little bit of a hammering the last few days.
Yeah, they're hanging on. Luckily, I got good bone density. They're right.
This surface, it is a lively one, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's always challenging when it's up and down, when those balls are, off a front foot length hitting you in the top hand. That always creates a few worries. But as a batter, sometimes you get dealt these types of wickets and you just got to find a way.
In terms of a warm-up for next week, of course your focus is on this game right now, but it is a full-blooded preparation for an Ashes series, this, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we're certainly not taking it as that, as a preparation, but it's a handy addition to have a test of this calibre before a very, very big series. So, there's a lot to go in this match, so we just got to make sure we come out and start well tomorrow.
Marnus, really appreciate your time. Thanks so much. Agaz Marnus Labuschagne here on the boundary edge, and I can tell you, his hands, no tape on them, nothing like that, but they've taken a little bit of a pelting in the last 24 hours or so.
There's only two people I can think of that talk about bone density, and he's one, and that's probably Steve Smith's the other. Do you know what your bone density in your fingers is, Steve?
I'm not sure I want to know. Like quavers.
Yeah, it's great to get the interviews so quickly there. And talking of taping and padding, I think I can see Ajinkya Rahane on television, and he has got something on the index finger of his right hand. He's giving an interview there. We won't hear from him, but they're sure to ask him about it, but he's definitely got some sort of protection on there. We might hear from him, we'll see, but time's ticking away. He's just finishing his interview there, I think. So, Henry, if you do get him, shout out. Marnus Labuschagne he's pretty honest, isn't he, about it? I mean, it's interesting the way he was talking about the pitch there. I don't think he thinks much of it.
No, it doesn't seem overly impressed, does he? I think, and also when you, like he said, when you're getting hit on the bottom hand, it's okay. You can accept a little bit of extra bounce every now and again. It's warm, it's dry, there are little cracks, but when you're hitting the top hand, that's when I think you start to think that the pitch might be a little bit iffy. And as he said there, the new ball is crucial, I think, when it comes to Australia bowling. That new ball, it's going to be so hard for the Indian batters. But if you do get through it, we've seen that it is possible to bat as soon as the ball gets soft, but you have to get through about 30 or 35 overs first before that happens. And that's going to be the crucial period. In the next 2 days of this game, it's going to be how far Australia can get ahead and then how much damage they can do in the first 30 overs of that new ball in the second innings.
Yeah. Jim Maxwell's down there. Down... as far as this desk is concerned, not literally outside. From an Australian perspective, Jim, what do you think of today?
Oh, Australia's got the upper hand. They've probably got enough on the board to win the game from here. But it's interesting to hear your discussion and Marnus Labuschagne talking about the awkwardness of the pitch. But we all know it's a much more interesting game when the bowlers have got something going for them.
Agreed.
We don't want predictable bounce all the time.
No.
I mean, one of the things about
dangerous bounce, though.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Okay. But one of the things about that series in India that Australia played was every ball just kept you riveted to the screen, because there was a combination of how do you survive, how do you prosper, and you had to sort of in a calculated way take the bowling on. And there's a bit of that about this pitch. You're watching, you're trying to avoid getting nabbed off the gloves or one cannoning into your pads. But as we see with Labuschagne, he's pretty productive. He just waits. And I've seen so much of him bat now and thought, he doesn't really get on top, this bloke, but he doesn't get out.
Yeah.
Look at his test average. It's extraordinary. And he's going to be a very important player in this team, as he's showed again tonight. So whatever happens tomorrow, it's hard to see unless Kohli or someone plays a genius innings how India could possibly get close.
Let's see if Ajinkya Rahane is going to bowl play a genius innings. He's with Alison Mitchell.
Ajinkya, first thing to say is that we've just handed you the microphone into your left hand. Can you show us your finger? How is it?
I'm okay, feeling all right. It's painful, but it's quite manageable.
Is it going to affect you batting in the second innings?
I don't think so.
What about this day today? It's been a gripping day, a new back in the side, and it's been very pleased with the way you batted.
Yes, really happy the way I batted today. I mean, we had a very good day today. First up with the bat. The partnership between Jadeja and I, and then Shardul and myself was really crucial. We were looking to get around 320, 330, but I thought overall we had a very good day. Bowling-wise, we bowled really well in second innings. Everyone chipped in really well. We bowled in partnerships, and that was really important. I thought 120 for 4 in second innings. That was a very good effort by our bowlers.
It took an absolute screamer of a catch from Cameron Green to dismiss you. Could you quite believe it?
I mean that was really good catch. I mean, we all know he's a very good fielder, tall guy. His reach is really, big reach. So yeah, it was a very good catch.
The lead is already nearly 300. To what extent do you still feel in touch with this game? How many is too many?
See, frankly speaking, Australia is slightly ahead of the game. For us, what is important is to just think about the moment, play session by session. We don't want to think far too ahead. But I think tomorrow when we come in the morning, I think first 1 hour will be very crucial as a bowling unit. If we bowl really well, then anything can happen. We know funny things can happen in this game. It's all about staying in the moment and believing in our ability.
And do you still think it will be seam dominated, or the way Jadeja found one to turn, could it really bring him and Lyon into play? Yeah,
I think he bowled really well. I mean, the foot marks really helped him, especially for the left-hander. He bowled really well. I still feel this wicket will help seam bowlers. So, as I said, tomorrow if we come up with a very good plan, if we bowl well first hour, so anything can happen.
Good luck with the finger recovery and the rest of the match.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
Well, that sounds positive. At least he should be able to bat tomorrow. These batsmen take a blow on the finger and can't possibly field, can they, Finney?
I know, they should see the state of my big toe after I've done 5 days in the field. That's something to moan about.
Warner 1, Khawaja 3. Jim, discuss.
Well, they're both 36. They're in the twilight of their careers. They look like they might nick off more than they'll nick in, so to speak, once this Ashes series gets underway. That's going to be a partnership to follow. Can it be sustained with those two players? What are the alternatives as we go? And how many chances do Warner and particularly get into this Ashes series? He didn't look quite the part today. He was much better in the first innings where he was more sort of proactive and looking for the bowling. Maybe he was worried about the bounce and getting whacked on the gloves. But yes, it's a potential concern for Australia. But the rest of the batting looks strong, and you'd have to say on the net warm-up, particularly from Pat Cummins today, the bowling looks handy.
Yeah, it does. Although he needs some rhythm. 2 wickets denied through no balls, for him. So I mean, he needs to get some work done, I think. Finney, don't you think?
Yeah, and also when you've had a layoff from Test match cricket, the rhythm and the flows, the difference in ends sometimes can stuff you about a bit. Pat Cummins, I think he looked aside of the no balls. He looked in fine fettle to me, and actually the Australian bowling unit in general, the 4 of them, the way they operate, the balance that Cameron Green gives them, and the individuality actually for him as a number 6 batter who's 6'8" and hits the track that hard and bowls that quick. It really is a point of difference player for Australia.